Hello, my name is Samuel Warwick. I have autism. The entertainment industry has been a huge part of my childhood. So, by being inspired to see other entertainment podcasters interviewing other people from television shows, I decided to do one myself. To know about some funny behind the scenes, bloopers, and some stuff that we probably didn't know about while they were making the certain type of show. This is Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. Let's go to the podcast now. All right, everybody, we are on. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick, where we talk about stuff from, the nostalgic past all the way to the current day of pop culture. I am, of course, your host as always, Samuel Warwick. And if you're joining me here for the first time, well, welcome. But if you're returning, well, welcome to this episode. All right, here I have at least two co-hosts with me today. I have Martin Kreps
Hello.
and, of course, Jordan Robinson. Of course, they're my main two. So, welcome.
Greetings.
All right, and I sadly we don't know what happened to Chris, but she was supposed to be here, but that's okay. So we're just gonna roll with this, and yeah. But how are you both doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Wonderful.
All right, well that's good. Well, so this episode's gonna be a little bit interesting because this is now he even though he has done Muppet work and stuff like that, he's mainly done things here for the Carolinas. So here in the Carolinas, we had at least three PBS stations, one being the ETV Endowment of South Carolina and WUNC TV. And then if you were right in the middle, you were right in the middle of the Carolinas, or only in 13 counties, you might be familiar with WTVI Charlotte. So yeah, those are my three PBS stations, and I happen to have somebody from WTVI Charlotte who was a puppeteer on that show. So yeah, but he not only that for that channel, but not only for that, but he's only done he's done other things with the Muppets as well. He's done Elmo and Grouchland, of course, and I don't know what else other things he's done. He started out he's done some things in the Wilmington, like for the Wilmington in North Carolina and such like that too. So yeah, our guest for this episode is Drew Allison, puppeteer Drew Allison from the Carolinas. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I just grew up with WTVI Charlotte and all that. So it's really cool that I'm able to talk, share my WTVI memory with you and just watching you and Seymour and Miss Beverly and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
those are good times until 2013 when everything on PBS just changed. So
Yes.
it was definitely a little bit of a downgrade, but but anyway, before we get into WTVI and stuff like that, may I ask you, like I asked everybody else, how did you start your origin story? So how did you start doing what you're doing? Like how were you inspired to be a puppeteer? Maybe you can talk a little bit about yourself a little bit, just do what you
Yeah,
just
absolutely. So like a lot of people, I played with puppets as a kid, and I would try to make and create puppets, and I just really never stopped. I just have always enjoyed making and creating puppets, and then taking them and doing performances with them. I think that's a really cool thing about puppetry is that as a puppeteer, you can sort of take something all the way through the creative process. Um, so when I was about 12 years old, I started doing birthday party shows with puppets, and I just kept doing this puppet thing. I went to school at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, where I met a professor there named Doug Swink, who really helped me a lot. Um, it kind of refined my skills. In high school, I started Grace Hill Puppets, and we do shows in schools, theaters, libraries, on camera stuff like you're aware of. And then we also build a lot of sports teams mascots and corporate mascots you may know Homer for the Charlotte Knights. We
Oh
built
yeah, oh
Homer's.
yeah. I remember that. I remember Homer. I used to go to the baseball games in like
Yeah,
Oh,
and
in the
cool.
Fort Mill, the Fort Mill. Yeah, I used to
oh,
go
right.
there.
Yeah, it was in your backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
So that's kind of my journey to how I got where I am. I've just always done puppets.
Wow, that is a great story. I gotta say, man, that's awesome how you started out as, you worked, a lot of puppeteers, they work their way, like they watch shows when they were kids, and then now they become very successful about what they do, and
yes.
it's it, it's a very good story. I think that puppeteer stories are pretty interesting because you learn you get to create your own characters. You don't have to only use your voice. Not only do you just can you use your voice, you can always move your hand too. So that's another great one. I'm trying to think.
Right. For sure.
All right.
Oh,
So, oh
certainly.
my
Yes.
goodness, what was okay? So our next question is, what was your very first production that you've done? What was the very first production?
Oh, wow. Well, I would say the first couple of legitimate things I did was when I was at school at UNCW. I produced two puppet shows. One was called The Aged Puppeteer, which was just kind of an original story about
Hmm.
an old puppeteer who kind of fell on hard times, and his puppets
Yeah,
came to life to kind of save
yeah,
his studio. And
Mhm.
yes.
then I created a show called A Show of Emotions, which were short little vignettes
Oh
using
yeah.
different kind of tabletop puppets.
Oh my goodness.
Those are the first ones that I
Oh
remember, really.
wow. I was actually going back to some of your stuff on like it was by a puppeteer that works there, Donald Devitt or whatever his name is. Yeah,
Yeah, Donald and I worked together for many, many years as Gray Seal puppets for
Y-
sure.
Yeah, and I was taking a look at one of them, and I think a lot of people were actually aware about this show. It was called The Monster Show, and a lot of
Yeah.
people were talking
Oh,
about that for a while. So
Yep.
that,
That has a little cult following
a
that
monster show.
yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh my goodness, wait, oh my gosh, yeah. I used to work. I used to watch this guy on like WTVI, which is going to be a very which is probably my favorite thing you've ever done. But we'll get to that, and then yeah, and then
okay.
yeah. They're the Charlotte
Wow.
Puppets there. Don't worry, they're the Charlotte Puppets there. I see them. Yep, I see the Bojangle one, which I will ask about. But and
Yeah.
I'm looking at yeah, and I'm looking at another one. You also did like this thing that I really enjoyed. It was another puppet show I enjoyed called like it was like a Halloween one. That was done out of
Yeah.
Charlotte as well. Oh my gosh, that
Yeah,
was really good
we
too.
were really fortunate, before local news took over every spare minute on local TV.
Uh,
WSOC and TV
oh
produced
yeah,
3 family
Oh,
specials,
yeah.
a
oh yeah.
Halloween you're talking about, a Thanksgiving one, and then one other one, Rip Van Winkle.
Oh, I don't
Those were
think I've
really
seen
fun to do.
I don't think I've seen the Thanksgiving one. I know I've seen the Halloween one. The music in it was really catchy, and it was really good too. I gotta say, those were
Nice, nice.
yeah. I remember
I
the
bet
end
they were.
credit. Yeah, I bet I remember the end credits of that. That was cool to see. I'm like, man, this guy should have done a lot more. I wish people were more aware about this guy, but I've only seen like 2 interviews with you and him, so
Well, here we are.
well, I know that Under the Puppet did one, so with
Yes.
you, and I forgot the other channel. It was a guy from Britain. I forgot what his name was.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, so yeah, those are the only two that I've seen. But this is your third one, and I'm glad I could be your one of your first. So
Right on.
yeah, I'm trying to think of another one. I remember I saw a few. I saw a few. It was you did one with like a bank or whatever back in the day. You did like one with a bank and like they people like you did something with like people complaining and like
Yeah, yeah.
I found that pretty funny. I was like, oh my god, yeah,
Yeah, puppets are really good at showing the wrong way of doing something, so they're good for kinda corporate training
that
too.
was really funny. That was
Yeah.
real funny. And then oh my god, I saw this one recently, and this one's gonna be a little bit vulgar, but there was one where like a puppet asked, "Do I have a p word?" do I
my.
have a male anatomy? That's what it is.
That was something we
Oh
did.
my
I'm trying to think what that could be.
gosh, dude.
Yeah, that I watched. I had to mention that. I mean, this podcast is nostalgia, so this really isn't really like for a young audience, but because this is I mean, I just want to talk about nostalgia and just some of the stuff that you do. I was just doing some research and I was like,
Right,
oh,
right, yeah. No, I get it.
so wow. Well, so if I may now this is another thing I may ask. I don't know if this one came next, but I want to talk about some of your Bojangle commercial work. Oh my goodness. I saw I like that were in the late 90s and the early 2000s. Those
Yeah.
were interesting.
Yeah, they were really fun. It was, fun being a small part of a bigger process, which is usually the case with on-camera work. And, um, there was the ad agency, there were the Bojangles people, there were the production company. So there was a lot of a lot of people giving input, and that character, right here, he
Yeah.
didn't have any wings or arms or anything. So as a puppeteer, it was harder to really get some emotions out of him.
Yeah.
He sort of
Yeah.
just had to use his beak and things like
Yeah,
that.
I saw a few of those commercials. Those are like done in like, oh my God. So where'd you film them now? Did you film them did you film them at the Bojangles there
They were
headquarters?
filmed at a company called Boulevard Films, which was right on East Boulevard in Charlotte,
Okay, yeah. All
right
right,
by right near East Boulevard and South Boulevard.
all right, yes, yes. Was that near the WTVI studio at all?
It was probably a couple miles from there.
All right, yeah. Because I honestly found out. I honestly found out that a few movies were done there in Charlotte too. They did a movie called Shallow Hal there in Charlotte as well, which is
Yeah,
featuring Jack Black.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was interesting. And then
Yeah.
I'm aware about a few more productions. So I don't know if you'd be aware about these people, but there's been a few actresses that I've watched. One of them was called so they go by Corrigans. They go by the Corrigans, like Abby and like Abby Corrigan. Like I know they've done a few acting things there in Charlotte. I don't know if you would be aware about them or not.
I don't think I know them. No.
All right. Well, you might have heard that, but I know you probably know this person, which I'm probably going to mention because I'm sure you know Rags, right? Rags was done there. A lot of Rags stuff was done there in
Yeah,
Charlotte.
we used to
So,
make all the Rags characters.
oh, you did too. Oh
Whoa.
my God, I did not know. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Wow.
you made Rags too. Oh
we
my
made
God.
Rags before he got all the animatronics and fancy stuff. We made
Oh,
just the.
so you made like the pilot movies. You made those.
We made ones before they actually got on camera. They would just use them for appearances and things like that. And they had a show in
Oh.
Myrtle Beach.
Oh,
We made them all,
oh,
Pido, all of those guys.
oh my gosh,
Sweet
that was you
sugar
guys.
cane.
Oh my God, yes. And I'm sure you're aware about Fred's
Uh,
story, right? He's a composer there in Charlotte, I think.
Yeah,
Fred's
I know
story.
Fred.
Oh, you know Fred, cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Oh my God,
Oh.
because he did all the music for Rags, and
yeah.
oh my God, I'm gonna see if he's gonna do this podcast because I gotta email. I'm sure he probably would though. I know his website. I just gotta email him. So I'll let him know that we had you on. So
Yeah, yeah, and Becky, his wife.
yes, Becky, yes. Yes. But anyway, speaking of, going into WTVI, how was it like working with WTVI and how did you get, WTVI? How did you get the job to work with Miss Beverly and such?
Yeah, so they WTVI had this idea for the WTVI Kids Club, and they came to us because they wanted a little sidekick for Miss Beverly. So we came up with this idea of a little elephant that watched good stuff on TV, and we designed that character and made him and did his voice, and it was cool gig.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of a favorite memory from WTVI. Another one I really liked was the birthdays. The
Yep.
birthdays. Oh my God, the
Yeah.
birthdays. Now I'm not really big at people singing to me that song, but in the happy birthday. But but that version of the happy birthday is all right. Like
Right.
and then there was another one I remember. I remember a few of the incidents. There was one where like Seymour good stuff, and then like was like talking about cake and stuff like that, and then there were like a pile of peanuts fell on him.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh my
remember that.
God, I need to find. I don't know where that is. I need to see that. Oh, I laughed. I was like, oh my goodness, I remember that.
That's
I'm trying
awesome.
to think of another one. There was another one. I think you guys made this one much later. There was one where like Seymour Good stuff like went up into the air. Like he went up into the air and like the balloons went up.
Oh yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Beverly was like, "Oh no, Seymour went up." And then everybody was saying, "Boys and girls, if it's your birthday, well, happy birthday." And then we got a little problem.
Yeah.
That was like when I came back in 2013. That I remember. That I
We had
remember.
did a lot of fun stuff for sure.
Oh my goodness, how was it like to work with Miss Beverly?
Oh, she's the best. I still keep in touch with her, and she's just like she is on camera. Super nice, super friendly, super sweet.
Well, I'm sure she'd do this podcast too if you told her about it because
Oh yeah.
I would love to have her on because
Yeah.
do,
I'm
do,
sure
do,
she
do,
would.
do you know she still works at WTVI? If she doesn't, then
No, I think she retired.
oh, what year was it? 2018 or something or other, or
That sounds about right. Yeah,
okay,
Samuel.
yeah, because after that I didn't see too much stuff. I saw a little bit of stuff. Maybe I know, like maybe 2000.
Oh,
Trying to
I'm
think.
so
Oh yeah,
sorry, guys. I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
it's okay,
That's
Martin.
all right,
It's
man.
it's it's all right. It's all
No
right, dude.
problem.
But yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm trying to. I just can't think of the top of my head. I didn't see too much stuff when they switched around. I didn't see too much stuff on PBS when they switched around, like when they switched from the Dash and Dot to, you know, to like when they kicked Dash off, but Dot was still there with the new. Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah.
Oh
too much. I
yeah.
didn't see too much stuff. Yeah, they took off a lot of good shows that year. They took
Yeah.
off. They took off PBS Kids Go, which was one I really enjoyed. They took off. I'm trying to think what else they took off. They took off. I'm trying to think. Yeah, they took off the Electric Company, the one from 2009. That was a great series, and this is also another one of my favorites. They took off Word World that year too.
Oh yeah.
They took off Word World that year.
Oh
That
yeah.
was one of my
Yeah.
favorites, and the one that kind of sort of booted me off the most was probably they took off that whole Model C era of Thomas and Friends, which
Oh
yeah
yeah.
they
Yeah.
yeah when Thomas completely went to a whole CGI format, I was like, oh well, this isn't too good anymore. I didn't really like it. Like that was one of the good things about coming to WTV. Like when I started watching WTVI again, I remember the like one of the very first days I came back here when I was like 12 years old. I remember seeing it was actually it was actually a episode from the model era of Thomas, and so I remember watching that on WTVI
Absolutely.
Oh
because
yes.
the other two channels were not sharing the modeled era of Thomas too much, and it was on weekdays too. It was on weekdays that they were doing it, and then when Thomas went on to a permanent weekday to all the PBS channels, I just didn't like it anymore. It was just not that good. But thanks to PBS Retro, which is on Roku now, they're now streaming the whole model Thomases. So that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you're aware if
It is.
PBS has a retro channel you can watch. It's on
No.
Yes.
yeah, well it's on Roku, and if you go to the Roku channel and then you'll be able to watch it. So
Okay.
that was yeah, if you ever are interested. Oh my goodness. So, would you guys
Yeah.
like to ask the next question? Would any of you guys like to ask the next question, Jordan? Yeah, go ahead, Martin.
Yeah, you, Martin.
Yeah. So Rue, I was wondering, if I was wondering if you still had the Seymour Good Stuff puppet.
Yeah, he just showed us it.
Yeah, he's right over. He's right hanging out right here. next to the
Oh, wow,
Bojangles.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed Seymour. That was just a great era in my life.
Oh, did, did, did you actually do the voice of Seymour Good Stuff?
Oh, yeah, Seymour. Good morning. Happy birthday, everybody.
Oh my God. Hi, Seymour. Hi,
Hello, Seymour.
Seymour.
Yeah, I can get her down.
Okay, sir. Hi, Seymour.
Okay, whoop,
Oh, he
shoe
dropped.
fell off.
You
Okay.
just fell on my dog down here.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's cute. But I'll say hello
Aw.
to Seymour. I'll say hello to Seymour. Oh my God. All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the Entertainment Treasure Talk podcast, and he should be coming out in a bit. Welcome. Let us all welcome for our moment, Seymour. Good stuff. All right.
Oh,
Yay, Seymour.
Hello, Seymour.
hey.
Oh, hi, Seymour.
Let me get it together here.
Hi, Seymour. Oh my God.
Hey, Samuel.
Hey,
Hi,
Seymour.
Martin.
Hi, Seymour. Oh
Hey,
yeah.
Hello,
Jordan.
Seymour.
Hi,
How's
Seymour.
everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing good.
Pretty
Hey,
good.
Seymour,
Good.
I don't
You.
know if you remember, but I actually did have my name on the WTVI Kids
Oh,
Club
I
this
remember.
year.
I remember everybody.
Oh, you remember everybody? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
wow, that's
Oh,
cool. Oh
Oh,
my
that's
God, Seymour.
awesome.
Dude, that's great. Oh my God, Seymour, we were just talking about some of the time, one of the times that the peanuts fell on
Oh
you.
my God. What a day.
Yeah, that was done in like the early 2000s, wasn't it? Because I think I remember seeing that when I was very, very little as well.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't it done in like '02 or '01 or something? What year did you join WTVI? What year? Do you remember or no?
You know, the details are fuzzy. I play a lot of golf these days. I don't get out much, so I would say
Oh,
oh,
around the turn of the century.
Oh my God, that's
oh my
crazy.
God.
Yo,
gee
this is
whiz.
crazy, Seymour. Oh, do you like Miss Beverly Seymour? Do you miss her?
Oh, I love Miss Beverly. Love, love, love.
Oh
Love
my
her so
goodness.
much. She's the best.
You and Bree, and I forgot the other turkey name. Bree.
Maine.
Yeah. Yeah, Elaine, I can't remember who else. But oh yeah, I also remember you did a pilot there for WTVI as well, I think.
Yeah. You're right. That's
Ye-
good. It was
Yeah, it was
there's
like
some of those characters up over here, I think.
yeah, Seymour,
Oh,
Seymour, good stuff. That was really good.
There's Maine.
Wow.
And
Oh yeah.
and that the fish that was afraid of the water, he's up there.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, hi guys. You all seem really good up there.
Everybody's hanging out.
everyone is here.
Oh my God, yo, that's great. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but I watched another podcast and they did something similar like this. It was they did it with another puppeteer who did Rads called Adam Cronenberg or
Okay.
something.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you would remember Adam Cronenberg, Drew. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was an Australian. Another one of the podcasts did that with Dumpster the cat. Oh my God.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is really cool that we're meeting Seymour, but yeah, that's great. That was awesome. See you later, Seymour.
Yeah, I'll be right here.
All right. Oh my God. Oh my God. And of course it was shot there at WTVI, probably just like the Rad.
Yes.
Yep. So
Yeah,
you
the
guys had a
set was
studio.
there. A guy named Randy Fulp usually shot
Rand,
all of them. He was really good. Really good.
Randy Fulp. I'm trying to think I'm trying to think if I heard that name before.
I called him the Great Fulpellini.
Oh, that. Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean that's incredible, man. That was already bringing me back. Trying to think what else. Oh yeah, how was it like working on? Well, actually, I was gonna ask some of you guys actually because you worked on a few movies there, and like for the Henson Company for the for like the Sesame stuff, like Elmo and Grouch Land, and I think you worked on the Muppets from Space movie. I don't know if you did or not, but
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't make that one. I just did the Elmo and Grouchland, and it was cool. It was a great
yeah,
experience.
did you?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And actually, fun fact, I did actually meet some of the puppeteers there, like at the SCETV in Colombia. Like they were
Okay.
on there between the Lions tour, like Pam Sierra and Pam Merciero, and I met Peter Lines too. So
Okay,
I
nice.
met
Yeah.
yeah, they did a Between the Lions tour. I don't know if back in 2010. I don't know if you remember or not. If they did, I don't know if they made a stop where you were.
No, but I know those guys. I know I'm good friends with Pam, and I've met Peter, and so very nice folks.
That was that was. I gotta say they're really good puppeteers, and so was you know yeah. I'm trying to think of another one I saw. I remember that. Also remember seeing one where you went to a dentist. That was real. That was I remember that one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we did several programs for the Junior League of Charlotte, and one of their missions was oral hygiene. So we did a whole tooth fairy. Was that the one? Like tooth fairies? Is that what you're remembering? Or
I think you were in a dentist's office, but that one sounds familiar too.
okay, yeah. I think that one's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, that one was on YouTube. Then you talked to a police officer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And then you talked to Bree
Yeah.
about bullying or whatever. Bullying's a big one. I know how it is to be bullied. I think a lot of us do.
Well, that's not good. That's not cool.
Bullying is just no.
Indeed not.
Bullying is just no. That is
Indeed.
not okay.
Right.
In fact,
But
some people use that as an excuse to get attention.
no, well, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing if they are. Hold up, I'm actually scrolling through to see more good stuff right now, and I'm just looking, and yep, yep, there's just a lot of you talking to there's you guys are just talking about stuff like Daniel Tiger and just reading books and all that, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think those might have been shot before she retired. I don't know.
Yeah, she wrote all of those spots. So,
Oh wow, Miss Beverly did. Oh
yeah,
wow, that's
yeah,
cool. Oh my
she was
goodness.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. I remember this one. I actually shared this one. It was the one with the birthdays, like the birthday transitions or whatever, and like it was like birthday traditions. And then you were like saying, where tigers protect people. And I remember seeing a Tigger on there. There was like
Yeah.
there was a Tigger toy. I was like,
She had
oh,
all the PBS swag for sure.
oh my God, yes, she did. Like you had Cookie Monster, and oh
Yeah.
my goodness,
Yeah.
I remember she had Cookie Monster. Yeah, I have a couple of WTVI friends. Of course, Thomas is one of them. Of course, and then also I have a Clifford over there. I have a Clifford over there. So Clifford, yep. And then also we had Teletubbies as well, but I think Teletubbies drifted. So yep,
Ah, yeah.
Teletubbies.
So Samuel, how do you know Jordan and Martin?
We're friends. We connect. Oh yeah, they're from New York. Well,
Okay.
Martin's from New York and Jordan's from Mississippi. So
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
we talk about lots of pop culture and stuff like that. We're friends from pop culture. We talk about all sorts of shows and stuff like
Yeah, pop
that,
culture nostalgia.
Oh,
and
certainly,
that's
yes.
and that's what that's how we meet, and we just talk a lot. We have good times. We just talk
And if there is
Absolutely.
ever any
yeah.
predicament, we try to work together to solve it.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
That's awesome. Good for y'all.
All right. May I also ask you, did you have any special WTVI friends like that came to the studio, like like anything like maybe Sesame Street or whatever coming over?
Like puppeteers or
Yeah,
puppets
maybe
or
puppeteers or whatever. Maybe like they came from a long way and then they were WTVI.
you know, on those, I don't know about a WTVI, but there was a puppeteer that used to live in Charlotte. I think he's in Ohio now. His name was Bob Lynch, Robert Lynch. He would puppeteer a lot with us, and he also did a lot of the sets. He was really amazing. And then I don't know if you've heard about of a puppeteer. She's passed away, but her name was Nikki Tilrow. Pretty
Nikki
famous in the
Tilrow.
puppeteer world. She
Nikki
puppeteered on that Halloween special you
Oh,
talked about.
okay.
She did the witch Trocadera.
Oh, Nikki
Oh,
Tilrow.
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard of that. I may have heard of it. I'll have to Google
you
it
can check
again.
her out. It's Tilroe.
All right.
Um,
All
and
right. Yeah, I'll have to Google
I
it.
think it's Nikki.
Oh my gosh. Well, may she be missed, cause that's
Yeah, she was pretty amazing.
yeah. Yeah. You guys have a pretty big company. I also remember. I don't know if like we would get Bojangles all the time, and I also remember this guy. You died. This dude. Like I think this might have been a 2001 commercial. This dude, like he was at a house there, and
Uh-huh.
like he had his hair like dyed red, and then
Yeah,
and
that was
then
my favorite. One of my favorite ones that we did.
oh yeah,
He
you
did.
rem-
He said, "Nice hair, man."
yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
if he was an actor there in Charlotte or something, or if
I
he
think
was.
he was. I think he was. They cast him there, and
Oh
I
yeah,
always wonder what he's doing now.
yeah. You
Yeah.
haven't had any connections with him? No.
No, I just saw him that one day, but I thought he was so good. Such a good
Oh
delivery.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's it. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And also, I got a question. This is interesting. Did Fred do any music for the WTVI? Did Fred do any music for? Because I know he's done things for. I know he's done things for the North Carolina and
Yeah,
another.
I feel like somewhere along the line we did some projects together with him because I
Yeah,
got to know him maybe through the rags stuff that we
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
I don't remember him doing anything at WTVI. They used
yeah.
mostly like record library
Oh
stuff there.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. So you may have known him through the rag stuff. Yeah,
Maybe so, yeah.
I do know that Abby was there. Abby Corrigan was there. She was
At,
there. She had a she had a sister with like Down syndrome.
at the rags
Yeah,
company. Okay.
I I can't find them. I can't really find. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. There was also she also did a production there. It was like Gigi or whatever that was shot down there
Oh
in
yeah.
Charlotte. Yeah,
Mm,
she was the lead role of Gigi there.
okay.
Gigi's Guide to the
Wow.
Princess. Yeah, that was.
I feel like we must have passed across her. We worked
Yeah.
mostly with Tony Stedman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So so I got a question. I know that whenever PBS stations did big events, they still brought the characters out. Because I know that when we did with like the Between the Lions tour, they brought out Smart Cat for him. They brought out Smart Cat at the ETV endowment. I don't know if you did that with Seymour whenever they were about to shoot Rags. You would bring out Seymour for the kids and they would interact.
I did some appearances and we also made a costume character version
Oh
of Seymour that
wow!
would do some
Oh
public stuff.
wow! So I wonder if the kids were if because I know that the rag segments were shot there at WTVI. I think like the U.S. dub of them were.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think.
that makes sense. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I think.
Hmm.
I think. I
And then they went to Australia, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think beforehand they went to Australia and then they did everything. But the music was done at Concealed, so it
Okay.
was right down the road from WTVI. It was right down the road.
It's not, is it still on?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, are they still doing new productions?
I don't know. I don't know if they are. I don't know. I don't know if Rags is doing anything new. I don't know if they are. I think they might be doing live shows. I would think, but it'd be nice about to talk to Tony Stedman though. I'm sure she still works down there in Charlotte. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think she still works in Charlotte, but I'll have to get in contact. I mean, anybody that you know that would like to join that you're still in contact with that
Yeah, I haven't talked with her in a while.
yeah. Goodness, I'm trying to think. You guys have you guys done anything in South Carolina at all? Like, have you guys done puppet shows here for the Rock Hill areas or Lancaster?
Yeah, I'm coming to the York County Libraries in the summer, I think in June.
Oh my goodness.
Be doing one of our traveling touring shows in
Oh
all
my
the
good-
libraries there.
Oh my goodness. So you'll be in downtown Rock Hill? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can see our performance schedule at our website. The
Oh my
calendar's up
goodness.
there.
I'll have to check it out. I don't know if I'll be able to go, but it would definitely be great if I could.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
it would be really great if I could. Oh my goodness. I don't know. We're just talking a lot about Charlotte now and just how I got a question. Did you go to any of the games at all in Charlotte?
Like, yeah.
The football games. I know because here I do remember we went to a basketball game a few years ago with the Hornets.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
We went to
Yep.
We went to a Hornet game before COVID hit. It was a year before COVID hit, and that was, oh my goodness, that was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Like,
Did you see Hugo?
yes, we saw Hugo. We saw, oh my goodness. So I mean, Charlotte's probably is definitely an expensive place to like to go. If we're
Right.
like, and it definitely has a big production. I didn't know, like, I know Charlotte's probably not as big as others, but it definitely has a great production. So I'm very
Yeah.
grateful that you got a chance to work there, and growing up. Is there any WTVI WTVI memories you have?
Um, I just remember there was some really good people doing good work there. And I really enjoyed that time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who did you work with? Who were you the closest with? And that's probably not a surprise.
I mean, yeah, I was definitely closest to Beverly and Randy.
Yeah, of
Um,
course. I
Oh.
mean, Miss Beverly was just, oh my goodness. I did see something on the news where you guys came back on the news, and like she said, "I love you, Miss Beverly." Like you were like
yeah.
on like a news or something, and yeah, and somebody it was one of the workers. They had somebody at Nation Ford High School, like one of their sons or daughters were at Nation Ford High School, and like, did you
Oh,
enjoy
cool.
watching the Seymour Good Stuff WTVI Kids Club? And I said, yep, I remember that. I mean, we connected with like for you for like 2 years, and I'm very grateful for these channels.
Yeah, I would go like to give talks at high school theater classes and just talk about puppets and stuff. And I would bring a bunch of puppets and show them. And then the last one I would bring out Seymour, and all the cameras and all the iPads would come out. They all wanted their picture with Seymour.
Yo,
was
yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
think I remember that. Yeah, Seymour's a pretty popular character there in Charlotte, I bet.
Yeah, yeah.
He's probably one of the
Hmm.
most well known there. Like, oh my goodness, I grew up.
They don't show any anymore, do they?
No, they
That
don't
you
think they
see?
show Seymour anymore. I don't
I
think
don't know why
so.
they don't run those old spots. I would think they'd still hold up.
No, no, they don't. Oh, no, they don't. I don't know if WTVI would have anything about Seymour in their archives, because if they do, that would be great. If they're able to share some more Seymour stuff, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I know they released some maybe about a year or two ago. They released some about a year or two ago.
Okay.
So that's fun. So now this is the time in the podcast where we let fans ask the questions. So we're gonna answer fan questions. And so
Okay.
for our first, oh my goodness, somebody else actually mentioned this. Now this is a little bit of a silly question. For first of all, her name's Amy Flower, and she asked. Now I don't know if you. Now I'm sure you probably have heard of this show, but because you might have had connections with these puppeteers, but she wanted to know if you knew anything about Animal Jam, which was another puppet show that was done in like Florida. I said I don't think that he would know anything about it. I'm sure he would know would know what we were talking about, but I don't know if he would know anything about the production of the show.
Yeah, I don't know any specifics about that.
But I'm sure you
I'm
know what the
sorry.
show. I'm sure you know what the show is,
I
though,
think I
because
did hear about that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was a show that was shot at Disney in Florida, and I've been doing a lot of research on that, and
Okay.
so that's great. And her also question, and her other question is, oh, and I forgot to mention this. I think she said, how did you do Blue's Clues Live? I think she meant because the IMDb mentioned that Blue's Clues Live, so I don't know if that's
Oh,
true.
it did? Yeah, I was not involved in that. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I didn't think you would be, but that's a little bit strange. And also, this another person by the name of Tim Delzer is like, do you know any familiar characters he puppet? Do you know he puppeteered? And like, yeah. Well, do I know any? Oh my God, I'm confused. Sorry. I said you probably wouldn't, but I'm glad. Like, would I know? Like, he wants to know, do you know, and would you know any puppeteers that he might be familiar with? Like, that's what Tim Delzer. Do you know? Do you think you might know? Do you know any ones that made like nationwide or worldwide? Would you know any that you did that made worldwide?
You know, I have a lot of good puppeteer friends. It's a pretty close knit community. I have a lot of good friends at the Center for Puppetry Arts in Atlanta. John
Cool.
Ludwig, if you know him, is an amazing puppeteer.
I think I've heard of him. Yeah.
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 Ooh.
I'm trying to think of any puppeteers. You know, I know Pam Arciero.
Yeah.
You mentioned her.
Yes.
She's pretty worldwide.
Yeah.
I know Stacy Gordon, who does the character on Sesame Street.
Oh
That's
yeah. I've heard. Yeah, I know her. Yeah.
yeah, she's really cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And our last few questions come from the usual Turi Benson, of course. And she asked for her first question, "What inspired you to be a puppeteer?" And you clarified that earlier a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, I think
Mhm.
just being able to take an idea all the way through the creative process. And after all these years of doing puppets, they're still fun for me, still challenging, still coming up with different ways to make characters. Um, I've just always been fascinated with animating inanimate objects. So it's been with me my whole life. So I'm thankful for that. And it just um, you know, I watched Captain Kangaroo. I watched Sesame Street. Those were all very,
Yes.
very inspiring for me
Yes.
as puppeteer.
That yeah, that kind of tackled her third question, but he said what? But her second is, what was your favorite project you worked on? Was the favorite project?
That's a great question. You know, I think when on camera stuff that I've done, the Bojangles, we were really proud of those, and those, you know, they were regional spots, so they went pretty far. I did some commercials for Donegal Insurance that I was proud of, more up in the Northeast. They were really cool. But you know, I've done performances with the symphony in Charlotte. I just did a performance of our Emperor's New Clothes with the symphony playing the music, and I was very proud of that just because they're such an awesome group of people. That was just really cool to be able to do that. So I think in the different areas that we're in, as far as like doing live performances, on camera performances, building characters, in each of those areas, I have things that I'm most proud of. So it's hard to kind of lay it on one thing, if that makes sense.
Cool,
Oh,
cool.
cool.
That's great. And also, she said, what were your favorite puppet shows you were growing up with? And of course, we kind of tackled that. You said, of course, well, Sesame Street, of course. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, there was a puppeteer, oddly enough, he was a marionette guy. But I saw him when I was like 10 or 11. His name is Daniel Lords. His name was Daniel Lords.
mm,
And he would do these fantastic marionette shows, and he would have like 100 marionettes on stage at one time, and you could see him up there pulling all the strings. And I have to say, he was one of the biggest inspirations to me. I actually started out making marionettes because of him. Um, and so I would count him as one of my favorite and most inspiring puppeteers that really got me going in puppetry.
cool,
Um,
cool.
you should check him out online. It's Daniel Lords.
My
It's two
goodness.
L's,
My goodness.
Lords.
Wow, this is a lot
Wow.
of information here, and I know you've mainly done things a lot for the Carolinas. May I ask what were some of your favorite for the Carolinas, maybe that you've gotten to do?
I think building some of the local sports teams mascots is always a good thing. Seymour was definitely something that I really enjoyed doing. It had a nice long run. Again, the Bojangles is pretty much a Carolina thing. It was fun just really trying hard to actually physically do the things with the puppets that the writers kept coming up with. Um, I'm sure there's a lot of other things. My time at UNCW, I really treasured that time with
Wow,
Professor Doug Swink, who I
wow,
mentioned. He was such a mentor to me.
yeah,
Um, and you know, I'm sure the list goes on and on and on.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been to Charlotte many times too, so pretty much know. I don't. I got this is an interesting question. Did you do anything at the Discovery Place there in Charlotte? Because I've been there before.
Yeah, yeah. We used to build a lot of puppets. They had their own troupe of puppeteers there.
Oh
We used to
wow,
build. puppets for them and at the Nature Museum. That I think they're kind of linked.
Wow.
Donald, the guy that you mentioned earlier, who I worked with, he actually designed a puppet theater. I don't know if it's still in the Nature Museum, but it was a permanent puppet theater in there that was really cool.
Wow. Yeah, because I went there in 2013, just before I came back here to my own home.
Okay.
We did like a field trip. It was like I was living in the Spartanburg at the time, and they did a field trip down where we went to Charlotte, and we went to the Discovery Place there, and it was fun. It was just like, seeing the other two museums in the South Carolina museums, like, Adventure and then the State Museum. So, and of course, I've been there too. So,
Yeah. And something else that you guys might want to check out is there's an organization in Charlotte called InReach. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but
I've heard of it.
we built. They have a troupe of puppeteers. It's called Troop 601. We built a production for them that they tour around. And actually, right now we're building a second production for them. They're really cool, interesting stuff. So
Wow.
check them out.
Wow, so Charlotte's still pretty big. Charlotte's still pretty big for its production. I mean, that's incredible. It's incredible
Yeah,
to know that.
even though I moved away, I'm still doing a lot of work in
Yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah, of course, of course. I mean, yeah, you're near Charleston now, and so that's
Yep,
incredible.
not too far.
Not too far. So I mean, I've been to Charleston before too, and I've been to Myrtle Beach. So I don't know if you guys did anything there.
In Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, did you do anything for Myrtle Beach or?
We built some characters for one of the, they have all those theaters there with shows in Myrtle Beach.
Yes.
We built like one of those illusion puppets. It was a horse and rider where, the person puts on the horse and there's like a skirt around it.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
And then it has false legs. So it looks like this person's riding the horse.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen stuff like that before.
Oh my
Right?
God, that's crazy, dude. The Carolina.
Yeah, it was wild. And then I mentioned that the Rags people had a show at one of the theaters there, so we would go there for that.
Yes.
Yep.
Rags is a really good show. I enjoyed it. Apparently, it aired on all three of it aired on all three of the Carolina stations here, and I remember. So yeah,
Cool.
that I don't know. It didn't make its way nationwide, sadly, but
You did good.
it happened. Honestly, I kind of like it better than the Wiggles. So
Yeah.
yeah, I liked it. But I like, of course, I like their stuff. Even though Fred was a one-man band doing all the music for it, I think it's incredible. I think it's still incredible because let me tell you, a one-man band making all those instruments go and making the Rags play. That is incredible. And it's like it is like a whole band is playing. Like, oh my gosh, if I can interview Fred, if you are in contact with anybody in there, I would love to. You're actually our first person from the Carolinas here, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll point them your way.
yeah, so that's great. We've had a lot of people that have have said they wanted to help and they haven't really helped us. So but yeah, if we're able to get anybody from the Carolinas that would help us out. Do you know anybody else? Do you know anybody that's famous from South Carolina that could help? Or
Well, like what is the scope of your podcast? Is it just
it's to talk about, a lot of nostalgia, like people that have worked in pop culture and stuff like that. So yeah,
okay?
nostalgic pop culture. I will say this. I don't know if you did anything for the Riverbank Zoo there. Did you do anything for them?
I've just done some live performances there.
Oh yeah. Because I remember, I know that that girl that I mentioned earlier, Abby. Yeah, she did some things for Riverbank. She did the Riverbank Zoo commercial there.
Okay.
So that was her. That was her. That was her. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people. Like, I thought that you would know some of these people. But apparently you don't know everybody there. You just know a lot of the production people there, like Fred and Miss Beverly and Rebecca.
Yeah.
You only know them, and just probably, they've done a few movies. So yeah, Martin, you got a question?
Did Did Gordon ask a question?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Jordan.
I wanted to. Yes.
Okay, ask a question.
So, what was the best thing about working for Elmo in Grouchland?
Well, that's a great question. You know what? It was best for me was the food. The food was amazing.
Oh.
They had craft services. You know, if you were the least little bit hungry, there were sandwiches everywhere. But then they had a like a food truck, and the food for the meals was just unbelievable. And then I have my own trailer, so all of us kind of extra puppeteers. We had our own trailers. We'd hang out. We'd throw the frisbee because we didn't do a whole lot. There was only a few kind of scenes a day that we were needed. And then I got to hang out with a lot of the older Muppeteers who were still working. Jerry Nelson, who has passed away, and Carol
Yes.
Spinney. We got to hang with all of them.
Yes.
That was
Oh.
really really cool. Get to know them. Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing people.
Yeah.
Kevin Clash.
Yes, Kevin Clash. I don't know. Elmo and Grassland was kind of sort of a little bit of a, I don't know, a little, I don't know. I didn't really particularly care about it because Elmo was a little bit out of character. I don't think Elmo would be
Yeah,
that
really.
grouchy. Like, I don't think Elmo would really be selfish like that. Like, it just had a lot of screaming in it, and I was like, this isn't okay. It's an okay for a
Yeah,
movie.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, one little known fact is, I was hired as a puppeteer, so I was below deck all the time doing the shows. Um, but there one day, they rebuilt Sesame Street. It was all shot in Wilmington, North
Yes.
Carolina.
Yes.
They rebuilt Sesame Street, and I played the Snow Cone Man myself, not as a puppet, but if you look real close, I'm on there as the Snow Cone Man.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait,
That's a trivia question.
Wait a minute. Isn't that the part where Elmo and we're like Elmo and everybody was like chasing after the blanket? Wasn't that
Yeah,
you? That was
yeah,
you, and then
Yeah.
you gasped at the blanket stuff.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was you. That was you. Oh
Oh.
my god. Oh, that was you. You were the truck man. Oh, oh my god. I'll have to look for
No,
Snow
that.
cones, yeah.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Oh my god. Everybody's like blanket, blanket, blanket.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember that. Like, my blanket.
Yeah.
Look what you did to Elmo's blanket. Oh my
I remember.
god. That must have been wild that day when you were shooting it. That must have been wild.
It was wild, yeah. Yep.
Yes.
I wonder if everybody in the studio was like, they were like people that weren't even like, they were just background actors too. I remember one little girl, like, they saw Telly and then the girl like dunked her head and like Telly and like they, whoa, look out, look out. Yeah. Oh yeah. How was it like working with Martin P. Robinson? 'Cause,
Oh, he's another good friend. He's a great guy.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I seconded him a lot with Telly. I did Telly's hands a couple scenes. That was fun.
Yeah.
So it was good times for sure.
Yeah. That's great. Yo, that's great. That's crazy. Just the fact that all these puppeteers, like,
Yeah.
like these puppeteers, like
Steve
all these puppeteers.
Whitmire was there, and
Steve Whitmire, yes, that was another great one. Steve
yeah.
Whitmire is a good one. Trying to think. Oh my goodness, there's so many of those great puppeteers. I did interview Ricky Boyd though. I don't know if you'd be familiar with Ricky Boyd.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a puppeteer. He did a lot for Sesame Street. He did like the Elmo the musical stuff
okay.
and stuff like that. He animated, and I think he was Grandma's Cookie Monster as well.
Okay.
So for Sesame Beginnings, yeah, I don't know if you ever traveled to New York or not and did like the actual Sesame Street stuff, like in the.
I'm not really a super big Muppet guy. So no, I never have done that.
You're not a big Muppet guy. That's fine. I mean, we all grew up with the Muppets here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just went to New York a couple weeks ago and we saw Ronnie Burkett.
Oh wow.
Do you know Ronnie Burkett, Jeff?
I've
Yeah.
heard. I think I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw his show at Lincoln Center. He was amazing.
That
So that was
was
really cool.
great. Yeah, that's fun. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, man, this has been this has been a very interesting interview. I gotta say, this has been very fun talking about Charlotte and stuff. I just,
Yeah.
watching all these things, knowing that you did all these things. I'm sure that anything big, like anything like fun with children, like any of these museums or these big stadiums and such like that, you probably have had something to do with. So
Yeah, I've been fortunate to do stuff in a lot of really cool places. So
yeah,
it's
around
been
the
awesome.
Carolinas, that's crazy. Like that's crazy that you're able to do all that. Like that's
Yeah.
my God. I did not know somebody so big was oh my God, was very well known here in the Carolinas. That's so I was like,
Yeah.
Well,
who did Seymour? Who did Seymour? And I was like, I searched up Drew Allisone one day. Like, oh yeah. That's really cool. That's cool. I'm like, yeah, I got, and then I saw that he had a website. I'm like, okay, I got to shoot this dude an email because I have so much my memories about WTVI and how because we're huge PB. I'm a huge PBS fan, and just
that's awesome.
I've loved PBS since since I was little. I've always watched it. I'm not even sure if Seymour was one of my favorite things. First things that I've watched. First things I meant. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. He might have been because I remember you and did you have any connections with like Smart Cat or any of them like Smart Cat or Roo that went there? They like did Seymour ever did they ever get together with did they ever get
Yeah, no,
together?
I know those characters, but I don't think we ever kind of crossed over
Oh
into.
my God, that would have been cool if they all crossed over. I would have
Yeah,
loved
that would be
that.
cool.
That would have been awesome if you crossed over with them, like they all got a picture with each other.
Yeah.
That would have been that would be so cool. Now I don't know if you did you do anything for for any of the other stations like ETV or the UNC? Did you do anything? Did you do any PBS stuff for them?
No, not on PBS. We did some local like on WBT and WSOC, like I mentioned, but not
Hmm.
mostly on W. We did some SCETV stuff, but mostly WTVI.
Okay, so that was your that was your main PBS station. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Charlotte's a really big place for production here in the Carolinas. I'm not sure about any other. Probably Columbia might be,
yeah.
but
I
other
think you're
than
right.
that, I think Charlotte is probably was probably real big, and I was probably the biggest maybe. I can't really tell, but I grew up with Charlotte, so I
Yeah.
grew up with Charlotte stuff
Yeah.
and knowing.
Yes.
So, and actually, fun fact, I used to be afraid of Homer too. So
Oh,
Homer was,
I get it. Yeah,
yeah,
he's a big old dragon.
yeah, Homer. I kind of was afraid of Homer because I remember he would go, like he would do like this, like he would do like the breathing, and I was a little bit like, oh,
Kind of freak you out.
yeah, I was very little when I met Homer. Homer's still a cool guy though. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I really like the performer who's doing
Yeah,
it now.
yeah, that
Well,
was fun.
listen, Samuel, guys,
All right.
I got a 3 o'clock rolling in here, but I really thank you for
Oh,
having me
oh man.
on.
Well,
Was there any more
yeah,
questions or anything that?
yeah. We can do the wrap up question. For anybody who wants to be a puppeteer, what would you recommend for them to do?
Well, that's a great question too. I would highly recommend joining the Puppeteers of America.
Hmm.
I joined when I was 12. You can go to puppeteers.org, find out all about it. Very supportive group, nonprofit organization, lots of good benefits for people who were interested in getting into puppets. And then I would go check out the Center for Puppetry Arts in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Amazing things going on there all the time. So those are two things that I always recommend.
All right, and then this is our biggest question. We ask this to all of our guests. So this is Entertainment Treasure Talk with me, Samuel Warwick, of course. And usually we ask people, what is something that is entertainment treasure to you? Like something that, like anything from pop culture, like it can be a certain song, a movie, a TV show, or well, you're probably too old to recognize video games now, but the video game or whatever,
Um,
anything.
wow. I would say this is way out there, but I would say the movie Jeremiah Johnson. Do you know that movie?
I think I've heard about that movie. I haven't. I'll have to take a look into it.
That's pop culture right there,
Oh
man.
my goodness, I'll have to take a look in it. But yeah, well, Drew, this has been great. This has been great fun interview with you, man.
This has been great. Thank
Yeah.
Yeah.
you.
I don't know if anybody would like to find you. Where can they find you? Of course.
Best place is to go to our site, graysealpuppets.com, and that's GREY.
All right. All
And
right.
you can
Well,
contact us from there and check out our stuff.
all
And
right. Well, anyway, I want to thank you and Seymour for being a part of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ah,
Thank you, Seymour. And I will keep you alive, Seymour. Don't worry. Don't worry,
good, good.
Seymour.
thank you.
You're
All
welcome,
right.
Seymour. And
Samuel, Jordan, Martin, I enjoyed it. Thank you.
And happy birthday,
You're
Seymour.
welcome.
If it's your birthday, well, happy birthday, Seymour. I don't know if it is, but anyway.
It's
Okay.
always my birthday. I'm always 3.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you, Seymour. Well, yeah. Thank
I
you,
enjoyed
Seymour.
it, everybody.
All right.
Good to
Thank
talk
you.
to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, thank you, Seymour, and thank you, Drew, for being a part of this show. And yeah, we hope to see you guys in the future, and maybe in the
Good
future
luck.
soon.
Thank
And
you.
bye, Seymour. Bye, Drew. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. All right. That's cute. Yeah. All right.
Take care.
Take care. Bye, Seymour. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. And so, well, okay. And well, that is a goodbye from us as well, right? That's a goodbye from us as well. Well, Jordan just hopped off too.
Oh.
So that is a goodbye from us as well. Well, anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching our podcast, and we will see you guys in the next episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk podcast. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk. We hope that you had fun and that you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, maybe you'd like to watch or hear more episodes of the show. The link to the playlist is in the description. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more upcoming episodes. And don't forget that you're awesome and that you too are filled with entertainment treasure. See you next time for another great episode of the podcast. Peace out.